Anglicanism can be hard to pin down. On the one hand, you have theologically liberal Anglicans, a good example being the current mainstream of the Episcopal Church in the United States. Then there are those in the continuing Anglican movement who left the Anglican Communion due to things taking place that they viewed as compromising the integrity of Anglicanism. Another one is the Anglican Church in North America, which is not in communion with the Archbishop of Canterbury, but has been recognized by some other Anglican provinces that are. Some Anglicans lean more toward being Protestant, and others are called Anglo-Catholics, who, though they may have reservations about certain elements of Catholicism, identify strongly with the Catholic heritage of the Church of England more than the Protestant elements. And that's a bit of a thing in Anglicanism. The Episcopal Church has used the term Protestant yet Catholic, and unlike most Protestant denominations, Anglicans commonly refer to 7 sacraments and maintain apostolic succession, albeit a line of succession not accepted by Catholicism. So when the Catholic Church looks across the river for potential converts from Protestantism, there are often some Anglicans with their feet hanging into the water. Along comes the Personal Ordinariate. In 2009, the Pope signed an apostolic constitution establishing this concept, which would become implemented in 2011 and 2012 with the creation of 3 personal ordinariates. An ordinariate is equivalent to a diocese. Multiple parishes are in the ordinariate, and they are fully Roman Catholic and operate under the authority of their own bishop appointed by the Pope. So what makes this different from any other Catholic diocese? First, although the services are completely within the scope of Catholic theology and practice, there is an intentional attempt to make them seem more Anglican. The website of the Ordinariate of the Chair of St. Peter says that they are retaining elements of Anglican heritage in their celebration of Mass and in the hospitality and ministries of their Catholic parishes. They commonly use a specially produced book of liturgical texts, Divine Worship, the Missal, which is described as the Catholic Mass of the Western Rite, filtered through the Anglican experience, corrected and expressed in Anglican voice. There are also exceptions to standard practices to accommodate Anglicans who join. Married former Anglican priests who join may, if approved by the Pope, be ordained as Catholic priests in the Ordinariate, although if they are widowed, they may not remarry. After the Ordinariates were formed, several continuing Anglican movement churches immediately began to cooperate, and many parishes moved into the Catholic Church in this way. With that, let's address some frequently asked questions. Number 1, is the Ordinariate Anglican or Catholic? The answer is that it is Catholic. If you join the Ordinariate, you've left your Anglican denomination and become a fully fledged member of the Catholic Church. But it's obviously a very Anglican ecumenical form of Catholicism. That being said, members affirm transubstantiation and the authority of the Pope and so on. The 39 articles are out and the Catechism of the Catholic Church is in, if you get what I'm saying. Often, the Personal Ordinariate is referred to informally as the Anglican Ordinariate, but this is a bit of a misnomer. Number 2, can anyone join the Ordinariate? The answer to this is kind of yes and kind of no. First, if you are an Anglican or Episcopal of some form, then you are the target audience. You apply in writing and go through study and confirmation, and you become a member. If you join this way, you are not part of a diocese, you're only part of the Ordinariate. If you are part of another denomination considered close enough to Anglicanism, such as Methodists in Great Britain and the US, you are also eligible. If you are a non-Catholic reached through the Ordinariate, such as being invited by a family member or friend, you can join it even if you have no Anglican background. If you're already a Catholic, you can join the Ordinariate if you used to be Anglican or Methodist or have a close family member who is part of the Ordinariate already. One Ordinariate parish says even more broadly on their website that, quote, any Catholic whose faith has been enriched and deepened by participation in the life of the Ordinariate may become a member of the Ordinariate, unquote. However, even without joining the Ordinariate, any Catholic can join a parish within it, receiving Mass there, for example. The only difference would be that such a person would still be under their local diocese and its bishop, not the bishop of the Ordinariate. Question number 3. Is the Ordinariate a different rite from the Latin Rite? The answer to this is no. Unlike the Eastern Catholic churches, which have some different practice and liturgy due to being a different rite, the Ordinariate is still part of the Latin Rite or Latin sui juris church. This is seen in that, as mentioned, married priests from Anglicanism may be able to join and become a Catholic priest while married, but someone raised in the Ordinariate who desires to become a priest within it would still be required to be celibate. Question number 4. Why the term Ordinariate? Ordinariate refers to an officer or authority in Catholicism. A bishop is an ordinary. He may exercise his ordinary power, and he holds authority to delegate certain things to others who would exercise that, not ordinary, but delegated power. Catholicism also has military ordinariates for pastoral care of Catholics in the armed forces. One reason that the term ordinariate is used rather than diocese, for example, or something else, is that the person in charge, the ordinary of the ordinariate, does not absolutely have to be a bishop. In the case that a person who would be appointed bishop, say, for example, a former Anglican bishop, is married, they would not be allowed to be a bishop in the ordinariate, only a priest. But because this is an ordinariate, they can be appointed the ordinary, even though not a bishop, and they can wear the same attire as a bishop. However, they would still need a bishop to perform ordinations for them. This is the case, for example, in the Personal Ordinariate of Our Lady of Walsingham in the UK, where the Ordinariate is headed by Keith Newton, who is married and thus ineligible to be a bishop. And finally, what does the establishment of the Personal Ordinariate tell us about the future? Though we can't be sure, this step of the Catholic Church to go out of its way to bring Protestants in may be a sign of similar things to come. The Personal Ordinariates for now are aimed at Anglicans, but there are certainly other denominations that have Catholic-leaning members too. This may be the first step in a larger scale program of Catholic outreach, but only time will tell.